Cassia Starwhale felt her first Atlantic breeze on 14 November 1999 in a pine-sided bungalow perched on piling posts above the moonlit shallows of North Carolina's Pamlico Sound. The sky was milk blue, the tide a hush of pewter, and her mother, a roving funk mandolinist who tucks pressed moonflower petals between spare strings, coaxed a velvet lull that made mismatched cups quiver along the windowsill. Her father, a maritime survey drone pilot who sketches cloud dolphins on clipboard margins, leaned so close their freckles almost touched, and promised his newborn that Doc Gossip, Locker Hall Snickers, and clothing racks quitting at 14 would always bow aside for a heart willing to stretch into its full dimension. Nerves have flowed through the Starwhale bloodline ever since a Tempest-era ancestor rewove shrimp net into wedding lace, so nobody fretted when baby Cassia burst 2 cotton swaddles before the kettle even hissed. Granny Dottie slid a rigging needle through every tear, patched them with scraps trimmed off a decommissioned spinnaker, and laughed that an extra fist of fabric cost pennies while telling a child to shrink can cost her constellations of dawns. Primary classrooms smelled of No. 2 pencils, hot hush puppies wafting from the canteen hatch, and salt fog sneaking through warped casements. Cassia already rose a good half head taller than her classmates, blotting the overhead bulb whenever she traced right-whale calving zones on the pulled-down atlas. One fog-damp recess, 2 boys hop-skip circles, chanting "Slow Fairy." Each slap her rubber sandals made on chalk square. That twilight she walked the rack line, scooped soda caps polished pearl by surf, threaded them on fishing leader, stitched a rattling chain down her sea glass hoodie, and strode into class at dawn, scattering prism freckles across blistered ceiling tiles. A visiting literacy aide filmed 8 shaky seconds on a loaner phone, posted the shimmer to an infant video nook, and by lunch 15,000 strangers applauded the girl who hammered mockery into lighthouse flare. Cassia wrote herself one lavender promise: besides multiplication drills, clouds crowd only until you flash them bright enough to part. Weekend dawns belonged to Ocracoke Wharf, where her mother's mandolin trills danced with diesel coughs from shrimp boats, skillet hiss from fish taco stalls, and gulls lobbying for mullet scraps. Ready-made jeans wedged at Cassia's thighs, so she traded tip-jar quarters for sun-bleached gillnet, unraveled it into rope, crocheted high-rise culottes, misted perch silhouettes in squid ink, and posed at Buttercup Sunset against rust-streaked pilings, where her cousin snapped grainy frames. Each shot sailed into a diary she named Lantern Current the very week a new photo app floated across patchy island cell towers. Captions hopped from dock slang to brisk truths like "curves anchor gale gusts, steadier than seawalls." 2 months before her 16th birthday, 49,000 unseen souls were tapping the heart on every mango-lit post. Undeniable proof that glowing rectangles can hush cafeteria whispers faster than any assistant coach whistle. A tidal turbine grant ferried her north to the University of Delaware. Daylight dissolved inside Wave Flume Labs, while nights belonged to a 24-hour crab cake trolley glowing neon papaya beneath sycamore silhouettes. Between orders, she filmed 90-second reels, folding parchment into dunegrass barrettes, showing how to rotate darts around a full bust, with half lecture, zap, and half shoreline murmur. Unupload overlap dolphin chirps with a lo-fi shuffle while she chain-stitched reflective crab pot cord into thrift denim. 47 hours later, the view counter leapt above 1.3 million. Mid-Atlantic style pages hailed her as the crab cake couturier, yet every brand offer still froze at size 16. Cassia slipped each message into a folder she renamed Shrinking Necks, wiped Chipotle glaze from her cuff, and plated another basket. Hurricane Prep Week arrived with an email from Columbia Sportswear inviting her to co-design a spray shell capsule called Kelp Chorus. Cassia answered with 3 doc firm terms. Patterns must rise to 60-inch hips. Half the project team hired fresh from community college sewing cohorts. 10% of net profit pledged to living shoreline reefs from Hatteras to Cape May. Columbia signed before dawn, fired coral light through lab skylights. The shoot unfolded on a sandbar where brand new loggerhead hatchlings stamped comments towards silver surf. Cassia coached paddleboarders across mirror water while a drone etched lazy infinity symbols overhead. When the lookbook launched, every extended size jacket disappeared in 41 hours across 31 countries, and Lantern Current crossed 700,000 beacons. Powdered sugar still clung to her palms from a graveyard funnel cake sprint as she balanced her phone on a flower crate, duck behind rice sacks, and live stream tear-bright thanks beneath buzzing LEDs. Take one breath, hear me now. If this story is already washing warm through your ribs, tap subscribe right here, right now. One gentle touch anchors your rail seat so next week's adventure lands inside your feet long before algorithm tides can pull it offshore. Down in the description, you will also find a private map, a science-backed route that shows how to spark lasting attraction and speak to any woman's heart without a single gimmick. Spotlight glitter soon drew rumor gulls. A clickbait channel claimed Cassia cinched iron plates around her waist underneath kelp core shells. At first light, she paddled a cedar board past eelgrass ribbons, settled Whitefoot in cotton shorts and sports bra, traced each stretch line with crushed bougainvillea, and riffed a mandolin break so fierce cormorants froze mid-flight. 10 million viewers reposted the proof tag bougainvillea dust, brushing crimson pollen across their own curves until gossip slipped beneath ebb tide. Trolley wages laced with capsule royalties and whipped into sea star butter, a cloud-like cream of spruce tip custard, lime leaf oil, and mica sparks that glow seashell white in any flash. 19,000 tins cooled on her father's chart bench, lids tied with braided trot line, each tag printed, "Moisturize your horizon." Inventory vanished in 81 minutes, lifting $197,000, 20% seeded Beacon grants, shipping industrial surgers and hydrophones to plus-size teens in shoreline schools from Montauk to Murdo. 8 months later, 36 grantee crews streamed a floating fashion and dolphin harmony showcase aboard a retro trawler draped in solar bunting, sunrise joy splashing into classrooms from Kingston to Kyoto. Baltimore Harbor Fashion Night birthed new Jetty lore when a backstage vent ripped her sapphire mesh gown from hip to shin 85 heartbeats before runway. Cassia yanked neon dock rope off a rig brace, laced the gap like hiking hooks, and walked as if the splice had lived in every sketch she ever drew. Camera shutters cracked like kettle corn. Vogue Coastal held the save rope cadence, and another million lantern sparks ignited before brass horns set the after-party thrumming. An ex-intern leaked chopped emails hinting she demanded oyster tower buffets and chauffeured skips for her rescue osprey Saul. Cassia posted the chain and tire, refillable water urns, lentil stew for crew, caption tablets for deaf stylists, then wired that month's affiliate surge $136,000 into biodegradable crab trap pilots off Assateague. Fans repeated her peer credo, receipts shine brighter than rumor grit, until whispers flatten like wind-dead sails. Family stays her compass. Twice each month she streams Porchline Groove, Mom sliding soulful chords beside a propane griddle, Dad reading cloud haiku, Cassia flipping thrift denim while Saul waddles through powdered sugar. One broadcast tipped 9 million views when the bird let loose a glitter sneeze across the camera. A wildlife haven now sponsors every stream, tagging rehabilitated ospreys with solar beacons powered by sea star butter. Butter proceeds already crest 12 million a year. Cassia leased a dormant fish packing shed, carved skylights through corrugated tin, hired furloughed deckhands and design grads to whip custard and knot lids by hand during midday groove breaks to sax house loops. Logistics auditors push shrink seals, she quoted Granny Dottie. Fingertips store legend, longer than plastic snaps, rope ties stayed put. Her feet lives real weather. Black basalt portraits rest beside taco truck selfies captioned, "Same sky, different tide." She uploads breath loops recorded in sea caves, printable resilience pages in English and Spanish, and low-cost therapy vouchers 3 swipes deep. 133,000 readers call her shoreline candor their first calm harbor. Unity ride nights shine under crushed shell flecks. Hundreds pedal sunset causeways wearing sea star butter on clavicles and LED seagrass tassels spinning from spokes. Ticket funds fatten beacon grants and lay wheelchair snorkel lifts at spring-fed coves. Chowder huts bubble late. Clam bowls jump 15% on ride nights. Cassia takes lead on a vintage cruiser with saw plush nested front, pausing to tie any rider's dragging lace. She's drafting Currents Keep names for release next spring in 11 languages, while a documentary crew follows her quest to weld retired boy chains into floating maker studios for headland schools. Puma's Y2A Wave Lantern sneaker lands next quarter, threaded with reflective rope and cushioned by algae foam, pledging 10% of revenue to Beacon Nurseries along the Atlantic Arc. Second, Tide Soft Nudge right now. If your subscribe badge still ranks crimson, let it cool to quiet gray with one thumb press and secure your spot before next week's swell. Remember, the description link waiting below unlocks a clear, research-proven path to authentic attraction, a guide countless viewers swear by for real connections. /playback edges toward low slack, you will find fresh sea star butter jars, instant Beacon grant forms, tonight's porch line playlist, and the Love Compass link down in the description, open and free. If the soda cap, spine shimmer, rope lace gown, save, or soul glitter sneeze raise even half a green tap, like, send your brightest ripple to the comments and share this story with a friend whose sails feel flat. Every curve redirects currents, every scar refracts lighthouse beams, and the coast bows to anyone willing to plant sure boots on the pier, eyes wide for tomorrow. Final invitation before the screen goes gentle. Subscribe now and claim your rail. Explore the love link waiting just below. Then meet me on the next rising tide when a fresh tail flickers beyond the breakers and courage sings your name all over again.